Welcome back, everybody. I'm Canadian Moose Plays. This is City Skylines 2, and today we have a kind of random episode, a little bit disjointed, but it focuses on suburban expansion, downtown expansion, buses, and expanding the city's infrastructure one block at a time. So grab your jar of maple syrup and let's dive in. So today, I wasn't really too sure what I wanted to do other than suburban expansion. I didn't really have too much sort of like inspiration on kind of what I wanted to build. Again, it's just like suburban expansion. We know what suburbs look like. Yeah, they vary in some areas. You know, more modern suburbs are a little bit more chaotic in their road layout. But this one was just going to be expanding the grid, right? So the grid of the suburbs. But we ended up doing some super fun things. As mentioned earlier, we ended up diving into buses, expanding the downtown, not as much as I hoped, but still good expansion. So let's dive in. So we're going to kick off with the road infrastructure, and there's a lot of stuff that I left that I wanted to sort of fix and sort out, which is a lot of the roads. I want to explore the asymmetrical, like the turning lanes. So we're going to get some of those added, and I need to adjust some of the crosswalks because the alleyways, the way that they function is no crosswalks, no traffic lights, and a bunch of them do actually have traffic lights on it. So you're going to see me diving in here, and I use this road to sort of split it and then add the turning lanes. Just because there's no node, like normally on a road like that in City Skylines 2, you'd have a node sort of in the middle. So I create that node myself by adding a road and then upgrading the side there. Likewise, you could just bulldoze it and then redraw it out the way you want. But I don't know, I found this to be faster since some of the roads are one way, so not every side is going to have turning lanes. But yeah, I mean, likewise, you can just bulldoze and then redraw out the road there. But we're going to add that to most of these roads here and get the turning lanes in because I think it's really cool that we have access to this pretty much right away there. I did in the small ones right away, and then there's some of the bigger ones you have to unlock. Like medium, I think it's, no, medium unlocks naturally. Large roads, that's the name. Large roads expand over, or are unlocked through the points, the little tree points, you know? Which is a lot of fun as well, too. And I'm excited to see, so we're going to get some seasons as you saw in the cinematics there, but we're going to enter winter. So it's currently October here. But yeah, we're going to hit into December in this episode, which is really exciting. So I got most of the roads changed there. Got to change out some of the crosswalks as well. And likewise, some of those alleyways had traffic lights added to them that I want to adjust as well. So we're going to come in and add that. And then I got to change up some of the area here for the suburbs, which is going to be the main focal point of today, expanding the suburbs, growing it out, because I want to get people into the city. We're sitting at 368, and I really want to grow that population. I want to start hitting 1K, 2K, 3K, and so on. I forget what we get in this episode as well, too. I think we might hit 1,000 by the live play. I hope so. So you're going to see me come in here and turn off the traffic lights. We're also going to turn off the crosswalks. Now, it does appear that turning off the crosswalks is only visual, which I don't know how I feel about it. I like the idea of people jaywalking in a city just because it's realistic, but I don't know if because the issue with it, with people like jaywalking in the game, is that it lets any sim can use it. And what happens is lots of sims will do that, right? And then it becomes unrealistic because not everybody's jaywalking, right? But they will. And so I hope that's not the case here. I have a city with 40,000 population. Actually, I think it's almost at 50K now that we stream over on Twitch. But I haven't seen it that bad. So maybe they actually have a jaywalking mechanic, which again would be super, super cool, where it's like, Only certain sims will prioritize it. And it's not everybody will use it, which I think would be really cool. So I'm going to come in here and adjust the bus stops there. So you see me adding it. So we added the bus depot, adding the bus stops in. And the cool thing here is I got a comment on the last video that I put out on Friday about adjusting the way that I do bus stops. It was an episode talking about buses and how I do them to help you guys with your transit, especially when it comes to buses. And somebody mentioned that I should divide the bus stops. Poplar Ponderosa mentioned that I should divide the bus stops more and space them out instead of doing them directly across the street. And I completely agree. That's insanely realistic. If we look at cities like Vancouver, for example, it is absolutely how that city does it. So I've started incorporating that as well. So a note for people that saw Friday's video, space out your bus stops a little bit more than what I did. I didn't have issues with it. It's not going to affect the simulation, as Poplar mentioned in their comment. It's just a realism thing. And I'm a sucker for realism, so that's why I do it. I also want to say thanks to everybody who participated in the poll. Based on the results, I'm going to be doing a new content venture as well, too. So I'm going to be branching out. I don't know when, but I'll keep you all informed. But I'm going to branch out and start doing some content based around a podcast, like a podcast. That's the I'm doing a podcast, but a City Skylines / urbanism based podcast that I'll run. We'll interview City Skylines creators. Likewise, we'll also interview like city historians from different Canadian cities, city planners, urbanism content creators out there if they want to be on it. But I'll reach out and contact them, which I think will be really fun. But yeah, expect that coming up. So it'll be a video-based podcast on here. I'll probably do an audio version as well too for other platforms. So we'll do video for YouTube and audio for like Spotify, Apple Music, etc. I don't know the timeline for that, but yeah, I'll keep you all posted. Likewise, in news, we hit 3,000 subscribers, man, which is crazy. The growth has been insane, and I really, really heckin' appreciate it. So the week that you're seeing this, we'll be doing a YouTube live stream. I don't know the date as of when I'm recording this, but I will likely know the date when, like, there'll be a post. Check the community tab. When this video's out, check the community tab. Because Moose, currently, it's Thursday. We're recording this on Thursday. And I don't know what date I'm doing the YouTube live stream. But anyways, we're coming out here, expanding the suburbs, zoning that out. You also saw me zoning some more in the downtown there as well, and I'm really enjoying the smaller zoning sizes. I just find that it ends up being a little bit more realistic, but likewise, it's a great way to branch up to the higher zoning and bigger lots sizes as well too. Gonna come in here and try and get the buildings the way that I want to there, since they'll zone on the road in twos, but I want the bigger lot size, so we draw that road out there, and then we're just gonna expand it. And I really like using this the alleyway road is like a suburban road. I wish it was bigger, definitely. It's a little bit small, but it does the trick. Like, visually, it does the trick because it doesn't have sidewalks. And so many suburbs that you'll see in North American cities just don't have suburbs. And so it does the look for me. Again, I wish it was bigger, but I'm sure we're going to have assets soon. We'll have mods soon, I'm sure. So I'm not too worried. It does the trick for now. But likewise, when we do start getting a decent asset collection, probably I'll have to restart this series, or we'll start like a new city, just because I feel like retrofitting some of that infrastructure into this build is going to be a little bit harder, just because of like sizes. Like, I imagine if we like, I'd want a bigger suburban road, so it would destroy the plot sizes that we have here, and just redoing them all just seems like a headache. I'd rather just start a new city if I'm being honest. But well, we'll see what the lifespan of this is. No plans yet, right? We don't know anything about Paradox mods, very little. And we don't know when it's coming out, so there's no, like, you know, I'm not too worried. Well, we'll get a decent series out of here. And maybe I can wrap it up, too, if we do end up keeping this a little bit smaller. It's definitely becoming, like, smaller. Like, I'm thinking of this as, like, a scaled-down Montreal. I guess a scaled-down Montreal, Quebec City. Yeah? I guess that's what it would be. Or it would be bigger than Trois-Rivières, so yeah, maybe, like, a scaled-down Quebec City. Or like a Burnaby, I don't know. Anyways, let's build some suburbs, yeah. So we're coming out here and zoning out the homes, but I realized that the demand wasn't coming in the way that I expected, and that's because if we look at the bars, we've got high commercial and high industrial. Likewise, I built this on the latest update that came out today. So this, again, recording this on the Thursday, an update came out, and I don't know, the city's too small for me to notice if because they said that they addressed issues with not enough customers. But the city's too small for me to really notice that yet. So we'll see if that, how it is, like how they did with it. So we're going to come in here and zone out more downtown, zoning out the office space there in commercial. And I just wasn't a big fan. I think I ended up keeping it. I wasn't a big fan of that row host facing onto the alley directly. But I kind of like the look of the commercial in the corner that faces onto it. So I guess it's fine. We'll keep it. Yeah, you know what? It'll stay. Because I have some row homes here facing the alleyway. Like, I intended the alleyway to just be, like, back lot for the commercial ones. But then I went with smaller zoning. And the alley was a little bit too big there. So it's become more of, people can live on it. Which, I don't know. I don't know if that's, like, completely unrealistic. I imagine there's some places where that kind of does exist. It looks good, regardless. Like, visually, it looks awesome. So I'm kind of pleased with that as well, too. Very, very, very happy with that. So we're going to come in here and zone out more. Because the commercial demand, I really had to push in a lot of that because I just wasn't getting the suburban demand that I wanted. And so I had to come in and zone lots of the commercial there as well. And I do think some of that commercial zoning is going to become high density commercial at some point. I don't know if it'll always say. Likewise, the offices, I do think some of the offices are going to become high density offices at some point. I'm going to come in here with one of my favorite trees, the pine tree. I didn't like the pine tree. I like it, but it's not a Pacific Northwest pine. And there's other pine trees that exist, but that's the one thing I really am missing is Pacific Northwest foliage. So I highly doubt, I think Gray Flame's completely, I know that Gray Flame posts on Twitter and that they're playing cities too. I talked to them before, so I think they know who I am, but I don't think that they watch my, I don't even know if they watch like City Skylines 2 content, but if somehow they are, Gray Flame, please, I need you. I need you to make Pacific Northwest foliage again because there's a lot of awesome creators out there, Mr. Mason and Demo, but they have their own sort of niches, and they've dabbled in certain things that work for Pacific Northwest cities, but Gray Flame, please come back. If it's, like, let me know if I can commission or help out somehow. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. We don't even have mods or assets yet, right? But I need some Pacific Northwest foliage. Likewise, asset creators. I need some Canadian assets. I need Tim Hortons, A&W. I need, Shoppers Drug Mart, London Drugs, all of this. Canadian Tire, all this great stuff. That I am starting to get to that point where I'm missing it for sure. I'm not going to go back to Cities 1. The load time is I'm not going to go back to Cities 1 anytime soon, I don't think. I have had comments about the Dutch series, and I'm looking into ways that I can do it. Teddy Radko helped me out with some ideas as well, too. He did a miniature Amsterdam-based build on a live stream that we did together. Those screenshots are out there if you want to check that out. And so he's given me some ideas, but without bike lanes or bike infrastructure, I just don't know how I do it. Paths are great. That's what Teddy uses. Paths to make it look like the bike infrastructure. And there's just nobody biking on it. And that's great. That's awesome. It looks amazing. He killed it. I'm missing bikes. If I'm being honest, there's stuff that, getting to that point of like the honeymoon phase is starting to wear off. And there's stuff that I miss. So I'm going to dezone these because it wasn't properly aligned the way I wanted it to. And the reason why these aren't pushed up right against the street is that they often zone in twos because of the land value right on Ivy Street there. And other roads as well too. But I'm trying to push them off from the main street to make it easier so that I can just zone this and they'll zone the size I want instead of doing like a 2x2. It doesn't work out everywhere perfectly. But, like, as you can see there, I had to push that one up against the sidewalk that's over there. That one's going to be a pain. But I'm going to start trying to do that more so that I am happier with the zoning, happier with the overall look of it, right? So we're going to expand those roads down there, the suburban roads. But likewise, I want to do something fun here with the main street that comes through the downtown. And I want to expand it a bit. But first, we're going to dive into the wild world of transportation. Let me know if you want to see trams in this build. I'm torn. I don't know. Let me know. Everybody comment below. Trams? Yes? No? I don't know. Let me know. But we decided to go with park maintenance here, and then we're going to go with the sports parks as well, too, which I just realized I forgot to put down park maintenance building. But we also did get the water treatment facility, and I like to get this early on because as soon as we place this building down, I don't think I go with any of the upgrades. Yeah, no, none of the upgrades here. But as soon as we place that down, I can remove the sewage, which will get rid of, and it didn't look like it was polluting the water there, but get rid of those early if you have slower moving water. I think the river helps to funnel it away, but I wanted to get rid of it there so that we could stop polluting the river, you know? Give the river back to the people, right? So we're going to add that basketball court that I talked about, I think, last episode behind the elementary school, now that we have that unlocked. So we'll get that added, and then we're going to look at the grid and kind of figure out how I want to expand it and where I want the roads to go. For now, they're going to funnel directly into this, but we're going to turn off traffic lights and crossings, just because those are going to be more... Not traffic lights. It's going to give the right of way to the main road there, and the people coming from the suburbs, they're going to have to yield. It's something that we see all the time in Vancouver. It kind of reminds me of a lot of suburban connections into the street called Kingsway. We're going to come in here with the district tool, and we're going to give everybody a district. So, my main question for this episode, shoot me suggestions. That's a weird way to phrase that. Send me, comment below. Comment below suggestions on names for the districts. Because, like, Sunset Town, not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Prospect Way, it's just, they're not bad. But, like, I don't know. It's not just my city. This is as much my build as it is your build. So, y'all, spam names down there. What do you want to name the districts? Downtown, we'll just keep downtown because it's downtown. But yeah, share suggestions down in the comments below, and we'll get I'll just choose ones that I like, I guess. I don't know how I'll base it off, but Autumn Ridge might stay though. I like that name. Autumn Ridge, yeah, that might stay. But yeah, comment some name suggestions. We'll get those in. But the districts are a lot of fun. We're not going to mess with them too much yet because we've got to unlock policies. Likewise, I want to wait until we get multiple elementary schools, multiple high schools, and multiple service buildings. That's when the districts are going to start to play a pivotal role as we can sort of shape it out and give service buildings their own district to operate in, which I am in love with that. I think that is so damn cool. So I wanted to split this road. We talked about it earlier here. I wanted to come up with something cool for that main road, so I'm going to split it into 2 one-ways. Oh, and here's winter. There we go. Colors are changing. It's cold. Winter is coming. We made it to December. So I'm going to split the 2 one-way roads here, and I love doing stuff like this. Now, the only downside here is that I didn't like the way it connected. So I'm going to bulldoze that road and come in just a little bit with the 4-lane. So I'm going to grab that, drag it out by 5 or 6 tiles there, and then split it. And this seems to give me a better connection when we have 2 one-way roads that collide and curve a lot. And it just ends up looking a lot better, in my opinion here. Really, really pleased with the end results there. So I'm going to step away off camera for a little bit, leave you here with some footage, and I'm going to expand the suburbs quite a bit because it's kind of monotonous and boring. And I'll connect with you all really soon here in the live play portion. Welcome back, everybody, to the live play portion of the episode. A bit of a random episode, kind of all over the place, but I'm really glad with the progress that we've been able to create over here. But here it is. As we left off, I went and zoned this out because I find it kind of boring. And yeah, I don't know. It's just the same over and over. It's kind of therapeutic, I will say, zoning these individually instead of like mass zoning. But I don't know that it's the most riveting content. So I'll show you some things that I did off camera there. But we converted this to a commercial sort of main strip here. It just kind of made sense, and I needed the commercial demand to drive the suburban demand. I was hoping to get this pocket done, but there's going to be some cool stuff going on because of how the road curves and this doesn't line up, right? So with these kind of breaking the grid, I feel like there's going to be some cool stuff here that I want to capture on camera there. And likewise, it's winter, so likely all the cinematics today, you probably saw it in the intro, but as well you'll see it in the outro, are going to be all winter cinematics. I think this is cool that we can get this city that's ever-evolving cinematically, right? We can have this city that's sort of showcasing, autumn, winter, spring, and I really, really, really like that. Now, albeit there are some stuff that's a bit disappointing with the seasons. The one thing that's like the most hype is the autumn trees. I think we can all agree the autumn trees are awesome, but the winter trees really are struggling. Now, I'm playing on high graphics settings. I get asked a lot. I play with high graphics settings. I should include the specs in the videos, so hopefully I remember, but I've got a 3080 Ti, because I get asked this question a lot, right, the specs of what I'm running. I've got a 3080 Ti and a i9, I think it's called the 12900 KF. So we're on high graphics settings, but here are the winter trees. So they exist, right? But look at that LOD. That's cranked to high, by the way. This is all high graphics settings, and that's the trees we get for winter. So, like, they look amazing, right? So here's the thing. They look awesome. I love how, like, not all the tree, like, not all the leaves are covered. Some of it is. But it shows up on only if I'm really close. Like, that's insanely close to it. So, again, a lot of my disappointments with the game now do come from the graphics. I think the graphics are really... like, the game looks amazing. I don't know how to phrase it without sounding like I think the graphics are bad. I think the graphics are awesome, but there's just weird things that are lacking. Like, that sucks. It's going to make the cinematics hard because I don't want that stuff. I try to strive for really realistic cinematics, albeit, the traffic sometimes is sus, and that's going to make it a little bit hard. So I really hope that they do work on that stuff, but performance first. I get it. Performance is a little bit rough. Downtown struggling as well, too. So I noticed that this here, if we go into the zoning, this here, so we'll grab just like a residential, is a thing now. It's called residential suitability. Red is bad, and it won't let you zone on red, no matter the demand. I haven't been able to get it to zone, so it just seems like it's something that's not really going to happen if it's red. Like, we got some buildings that did zone on it, but I think it's like, or maybe it's just a suburban homes then. I don't know. They just seem to complain. I didn't notice this, so we're learning together right now, live. But these don't show the issue. So is it just that, like, I'm hypothesizing this live with all you, yeah? The suburban homes only, then, that have issues with it? I don't know, it just seems like when I'm trying to zone anything residential on the roads that show red here, that they have a hard time zoning. They will zone, obviously we've got them to zone, but they seem to have a hard time zoning. Likewise, what is the complaint here about small, if anybody knows, so it's complaining about small homes, and this only happens on low rent. So maybe it's just that the low rent one have small apartments, but then it's like, I don't know, man, why are you complaining if you live there and you're renting it? I don't know, I've lived in small apartments, they're kind of chill, I kind of like, minimalist small spaces, but like, is that what it's complaining about? Like, how do I fix it? I don't know how to fix it. So if anybody has a fix, please comment down below. Like, high noise pollution, we can deal with that. That's fine. It's only -1. It's really not that bad. Lack of entertainment, something that we can address going forward in future episodes. I do like this better, though, like kind of that breakdown that we're seeing on how to address it. Winter's really cool, though. I have a city over on Twitch, and it doesn't have winter, and I really miss it. Like, being a Canadian, I love this. Like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, winter. We're coming from autumn. Just, colossal order if you're watching this video. Fix the trees. Okay, thank you. And I love this heart-shaped island. I know lots of people have built on this map, so we'll give our take on it. I love this heart-shaped island. And I was literally thinking about calling it, like, this heart-shaped island, Love Island. But the thing is, that's a TV show. That's kind of cringe. It's a reality TV show. Yeah, so, I don't know that we'll call this. Gotta come up with a name for it, but it's not gonna be Love Island. Anyways, back to what we built here. So yeah, we tried to zone this out. I'm really happy with this road layout as well too. I think this road layout is awesome. I love it. Love doing things like this as well too, to kind of like break up what's going on here, right? Like we have the downtown road split. It then connects in here with Emerson Street that I think is going to... I want to do something fun with this. Like, I want to elevate it maybe, and I don't know. We'll see. I got to figure that out as well. And then, likewise, I have been struggling trying to figure out rail. Because I think this city, you know, we're inspired, again, we're going a little bit smaller here, right? Because I don't think that the downtown... See, the thing is with this, because we can unlock other tiles... I mean, I do want the downtown to sort of kind of be around here, but I also kind of want it to roll into the coastline a little bit near the river, which I think would be really cool. But if this does become our CBD, like maybe our taller buildings sit in this pocket here, because that could be really cool. We have a little park space here, some green space, and then our tallest buildings sit over here. Actually, yeah, that would be really cool. So it'd be like a smaller downtown, kind of smaller than I wanted. Again, I'm going to need assets to really capture, and we talked about this, but I'm going to need assets to really capture the look and feel of Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. But maybe we go for like a scaled down Montreal, right? So a smaller downtown, scaled down. And I would love to do, like maybe we change up these roads here a bit. I would love to do, or even in here, like a European-esque. I know it's not like totally European, but something like what they have in Montreal, like Montreal's Old Town, I think would be really cool. And we use the European assets here. I think that could be really cool. But yeah, this is it. This is what we got up to. Really happy with this park too. When the trees come in, I think it'll look dope. And the suburban expansion. And I'm really happy with the way that the suburbs are looking. Like I think it looks really realistic. It reminds me of the suburbs that I've lived in. But it also, oh yeah, maybe this might be a smaller city than I maybe proposed it to all of you, because this just looks really cool. I don't know, we'll see. I say that now, and who knows, maybe in a few episodes we'll have a huge downtown, but I am really liking it because I love the look of the low rent apartments. Reminds me of places like Regina, Winnipeg, stuff like that. Saskatoon for sure. But yeah, I love the look of that, and I'm just loving this road layout. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so much fun to play with. But yeah, there you have it. That's the city. That's the episode. Apologies, it was a little bit disjointed and all over the place. We didn't really have an inspiration for this one because I just kind of wanted to expand the suburbs. So it's like I could give you an inspiration. It's suburban Canada, anywhere in the suburbs. And look at this, to wrap up the episode, we hit milestone 6. So that's super cool. We'll dive into that next episode at the start. We'll dive into Boomtown, kind of the cool stuff that you get with it. Oh, and likewise, off camera, we unlocked the rock musician mansion, and this is absolutely going to be home. You know what? No, we'll save this. We'll place this next episode. But if you made it to this part of the video, I'm going to give you a spoiler right now. This is going to be the home of one of the most famous musicians ever, Canada's pride and joy. A musician who, actually, fun fact, one of my teachers in social studies taught this musician. He goes by the name of Chad Kroeger. Everybody loves him. Best band ever, right? Right? We'll dive into that next episode. We'll build the mansion of Nickelback, and yeah, dive into the milestone. Cool. Okay, I'll see you all next episode. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to the people that support me over on Patreon and Ko-fi. Disney Dude 1, Shane Turner, Fish Bob, Brayguard, the Yed _ Anthropophagic, the Jonah, Trevor Sabo, Poplar Ponderosa, and Steve Burkett. Thank you all so much for the support. I'm Canadian Moose Plays. This was City Skylines 2. And I'll catch you all in another video real soon. Happy building, eh?